All right, just first of all, I want to thank you guys for getting on. I appreciate you taking the time on Monday morning. I know that there's a million things you probably have to do today. So I just appreciate you getting on and listening to me, and I hope that something that I say sticks with you for the week or the month or until tomorrow, or something that you hear you maybe want to share with a team member or a friend. So for those of you who don't know me or have not been on Monday Morning Motivation before, my name is Aspen Calhoun, and I've been with Cincy was 4 years last December, so I guess we're pushing closer and closer to 4.5 years. But when it comes to what we do, obviously I love the product and I love the brands, but motivation is the one thing that I feel like I can do is where I can impact other people's lives and push them forward and maybe help them grow in some way. So hopefully you can get something like that from something that I say this morning. So motivation, what's the point of this? When we start our week or our day or our business or just our life in general, if we don't have some sort of self-motivation, there's no way we can continue to move forward. So if we can pick up small things from other people or books or TV shows or quotes or something you watch on YouTube each day or every few days, that's what continues to move us forward. So the point of motivation is being able to use it yourself. So how do you make this worthwhile? How do you make the next 20 minutes or 30 minutes stick with you and move through the week? The way you can do that is just to find small things that stick with you, something that you can connect with personally. Because if you can make motivation or something someone else says or does personal, that's how you remember it. So how do you inspire others through that? Like I said, you have to make it personal. If you want to be a leader, if you have a team, in order to motivate others, you have to be able to connect with them. You can't listen to someone that you don't know without connecting with them. You have to find a common thread, something that pulls you to them and what they say, something that hits your heart or pulls at your strings. It can't be all business, because if we're all business, we might as well just type a letter or have somebody read the policies and procedures. It has to be something personal. Now I want to make this last with you, so like I said, I hope that you can find something that I say that sticks with you, even if it's just one thing over the next 20, 30 minutes that you say, you know what, that's exactly what I do, or that's exactly what I need, then I'm doing what I want to do. So hopefully you can find something like that in the things that I say. So I want to talk this morning. This is when I posted it this morning, I put throwback because I had done this motivation one time last fall, and it's one of my favorites because of the message that it holds, and I had a lot of people that it kind of stuck with, so hopefully it will stick with you. I want to talk about unicorn in a field of horses. First question I want to ask you is, how do you think of yourself? The way you look at or perceive yourself is one of the most important things in your business and in your life. The importance of self-image, I can't even tell you how important it is. It's so important. The way that you get up in the morning and not only see yourself physically, but the way you look at yourself and what you're going to do with the rest of today and tomorrow. You have to think the best of yourself so that others will too. If you can't look in the mirror and say, you know what, today I'm going to make this happen, or I believe in myself and I believe in my business, then other people aren't going to believe in you too. You have to continue to push yourself and believe in yourself so that others will. Not only that, but the way you think of others, the image you have of other people. Judgment can be a muted view. We can go out to a store or see someone on the street, or even a family member, someone that we know, and we oftentimes don't realize how muted our physical view of someone is. We can look at someone and say, you know what, they're not even trying, when we don't know. Judgment can be so muted through the way that we look at people. Remember that what you see on the outside isn't always what's on the inside. And a lot of times in order for people to believe in themselves, you have to believe in them first. And that's very, very important when it comes to growing a Cincy family team or being a leader, is that if we first believe in people, then they may move to having a better self-image or better business and being able to move themselves forward. I also want to encourage you to look up to someone. If you don't have someone in your life and your business that you look up to and you strive to, not to become, because I want you to be yourself, but if there's not someone in your life that you look to and say, this is where I want to go, someone who's setting that example for you, find that person and connect with them. Don't be afraid to email somebody and say, you know what, you've inspired me. Can you help me move forward? Because having someone as a mentor is one of the smartest things you can do in any business. Remember not to look down on anyone. The first second that you look at somebody and say, they'll never make it, they just signed up and they'll never make it, that's where you could be wrong. There are so many people in this business that it takes them 6 months, a year and a half to find that niche or to find that moment when they say, this is what I'm going to start. And you never know when that's going to be. So never ever have that muted judgment of someone where you say, she'll never do anything with it, because you never ever know. I personally it took me 9 months to decide to sign up for Scentsy. I had tried other direct sales companies. I didn't do well at them. So someone could have easily said about me, you know, she'll probably never do anything with it. She tried this and she tried that and she never did anything with it. But you just never know. So you don't know, not only that, but you don't know what you're going to do when you try. So horn or no horn, can you be a unicorn in a field of horses? What you see in someone else, you may see them as a unicorn when they're not, and you may see them as a horse when they're a unicorn. So let's talk a little bit more about that. It's easy to be a mythical creature. So how do you become a unicorn in a field of horses? How do you become that one person that stands ahead above everyone else? What are you good at? What is your strong suit? What is your passion? Everybody has something, and if you can sit back and say, oh, I'm not good at anything, I've tried this and I've tried that, and I'm not crafty and I'm not this, there is something that you're good at. It may be that you can talk to people. It may be that you can comfort someone. It may be that you can make one person believe in themselves. It may be that you are crafty, that you can make the best scrapbook anyone's ever seen. It may be that you are an amazing leader. It may be that you're a very, very good salesperson. It can be a million different things, but that one thing, your passion or your strong suit, can be what sets you apart from the other people. This is what can make you a head higher than everyone else. This is your horn. So I ask you, what does your idol have? That person, that mentor, that person that you look up to, what is the one thing that makes her a unicorn in a field of horses? What makes you see her or him differently than everyone else? If you think about these things, everyone has it. Even if you have kids, if you can look at your kids, there's usually one thing that sets them apart from the other kids, whether it's their originality, their sense of humor. All of these things can be someone's horn and set them above everyone else. And one of the key things to that is a person learning how to use that gift to make them into a mythical creature. So what do the horses do? If we continue to do what everyone else does, we will be in the herd of horses, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But in addition to what the horses do, we have to take it up a notch. We have to do one more thing that puts on our horn every day. So we have to change our day-to-day into one thing better. We have to add our passion to what the horses do. We have to add our strong suit to what the horses do. We have to add heart to what the horses do, and that will make us into a mythical creature. That's what the unicorns do. So what makes us idolize the unicorn? If you think of the people in your life that, okay, if you said every person I know is a horse, but a few of them are unicorns, what would that one thing be that your unicorn idol has? It's probably one of the things on the list here. It's passion, it's perseverance, it's a glow. It's something that when they're standing with the rest of the horses, you say, but look at her, I want to be just like her. Or it's something about them that makes them drive harder. It's something about them that makes them get up every day and say, you know what, I'm not going to be a horse because I am a unicorn. It's a self-belief. It's their self-esteem. It's the way that they speak to you. It's the way that they don't judge other people. It's their heart in their business and in their life. So think about those things and learn to become those things. Learn every single day through everything that you do to put passion into it, to be that unicorn in a field of horses. So how do we put on our horn every single day? And I love this quote that I found. Unicorns don't care if you believe in them any more than you care if they believe in you. So the people in our lives that we look at as unicorns, the people that set themselves apart, the people that we want to be and want to become, don't worry every single day about what we think about them. They don't sit home and worry that we're going to judge them for what they're doing. They don't worry that if they're passionate that someone's going to think badly of them. They don't worry about when they put their heart into their business every single day and push and push and push and persevere. They don't sit at home and say, well, what if so-and-so thinks I'm crazy for doing this? Or what if they think I'm over the top excited? They don't worry about these things. They don't care if you believe in them. And I'm not saying that they don't care about you, but I'm just saying they don't worry about what other people think because they have a self-esteem and they have a belief in themselves that sets them apart. So what is your horn? What is your wow factor? And I kind of touched on this on the last slide. What is that one thing that makes you different? In addition to whatever your talent is, it has to be self-belief. It has to be a head held high. You never ever see this mythical creature with their head hung down or hiding behind someone else. If you had one unicorn in a field of horses, you would notice it in a second because they're proud and because they stand with their head held high. They never hide behind anyone else, and they always push forward. So remember to put your horn on. Remember to have that self-belief in you every single day. And a lot of times it's hard to do. It's hard to say, you know what, I am good at this because I choose to be. I do have passion because I have talent. I have this one thing that will make me a unicorn. So remember to put that on every single day. And the more often you put on your horn, the easier it will become. Do little mirror messages. Draw, I love these little sticky notes over here. Draw a unicorn, and it doesn't have to be pretty, obviously, but stick it on your mirror and remind yourself. Stick it on the dash of your car. Stick it on your laptop. Stick it on your refrigerator. Tell your kiddos, tell your spouse, tell your friends, I'm a unicorn. And it sounds silly, but something like this can remind you every single day. Go on your phone and set an alarm that when you wake up every day, it reminds you that you're a unicorn. Put it as your Facebook status, I'm a unicorn. Help other people learn to be unicorns too by saying, no matter how silly it is, guess what? I'm a unicorn. Do you have a horn? Because I do. So remind yourself in those ways and help yourself believe in you. A unicorn knows no boundaries. There are no geographic limitations to be a unicorn. We've all heard it a million times. Either you've said it yourself, you've heard a friend say it, you've heard someone say, oh, I could never be a Cincy consultant because there's a million other Cincy consultants where you live. This is where you need to think, you know what? There's a million other horses where you live, but are you going to decide to be a unicorn? A unicorn can live anywhere it wants, and it's still a unicorn. A unicorn can live in a landfill, and it's still a beautiful unicorn. You have to learn to be who you are no matter where you are. So even if you live on the same street as 10 other Cincy consultants or Grace Adele or Vallada, whatever the case may be, you decide to make it work for you. There are no geographic limitations to where a unicorn can live. Circumstance limitations. Nobody ever asks unicorns how their home life is going. They never ask them how much they love their other job. So what about when you're not a unicorn? How does that feel? Nobody ever asks the unicorn that, because when you are holding your head high and embracing life as a unicorn, nobody thinks of those other things. Nobody ever asks the unicorn how many friends they have, because everybody looks up to unicorns. Nobody asks the unicorn about their problems. So does this amazing self-esteem weigh your head down? Nobody asks the unicorn about their finances or their life, because if you have that one thing that helps you push forward and makes you shine above everybody else, it overshadows everything else. It makes your circumstance not run who you are, because all of a sudden you're something everyone else wants to be. You're no longer, oh, I can't do it because. You're no longer, oh, well, I live here and I can't do this. You're no longer, well, I don't believe that I have a horn, so I'm not going to put it on. You have to remember that circumstance is only your limitation if you let it be. It's your choice to be a unicorn. So why? Why do we do this to yourself? Why are some people unicorns and some people are not? It's a decision. A unicorn is just another horse, but they figured out that they get to choose every single day that they can be better than the rest of the horses. They figured out that it doesn't matter where they live. They figured out that it doesn't matter if they have finance problems, they're going to make it better. It doesn't matter what their home life looks like, whether they have support from their friends or family. They figured out that none of this matters if they believe in themselves and they believe that they can do this. That's why. That's why you don't have to be another horse, because you can decide to be a unicorn. Could you be a unicorn? First, absolutely yes. But you have to believe in the possibility. You have to know that you're better than you can ever believe. You have to know when you think of your very, very best, when you think of your biggest dream, that you're not dreaming big enough. When you think of the most beautiful horse, you have to know that the horse can get better if it has a horn. You have to know that you're more than you ever thought you could be. There are so many people in this business that look back and say, I never believed that I could be where I am right now. And I'm one of those people, because once you believe in yourself, you surprise yourself every single day. Your best is better than you can ever imagine. Stop limiting yourself. Stop setting those boundaries. Stop limiting yourself because of circumstance. There is nothing in your life that you cannot overcome if you only believe in yourself and continue to persevere. Know that you have no boundaries that you don't draw yourself. Stop telling others that you don't have a horn. If you have ever said, I will probably never be a director or a star director or a superstar director because of ... you're wrong. The only thing you're doing is drawing lines in the sand that you're not allowing yourself to cross. Stop telling other people that you're not good enough. Stop backing them up when they say, this is a silly business and you can never make it that big, because you've seen the unicorns and you know that it can happen. You just have to believe in yourself. You have to find your horn. And guess what? You've had it with you all along. All you have to do is decide to put it on. You have to decide every single day that you're going to believe that you are a unicorn and you're going to become the person that you want to be. You can do that if you just decide to. So let's get real. After all of this that I said to you and how amazing unicorns are and everybody can be a unicorn, blah, 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 after all, it's just a horse with a horn. So if we're talking about everyone being a horse and the unicorn is set apart because they have this one thing or this horn, we have to remember that it's just one thing. It's that one thing that can change you forever. It's a self-belief in your talent and you. But we also have to remember not to idolize people or ourselves. We have to know that the unicorns are real, because that's how we believe that we can become them. You have to remember the unicorn shops at Walmart too. There is nothing that makes the unicorn more special than a horse, that she eats different food. The unicorn orders takeout when it doesn't feel like cooking. The unicorn hides under the covers when it's having a bad day. The unicorn looks in the mirror and doesn't always see her horn. It's something that we have to remember. Even after we become a unicorn, there are not always going to be good days. There's going to be bad days. But it's the choices on those days that remind us that we're real. It's the choices on those days that make us continue to believe that we can persevere in this business. So remember, even the unicorn that you look up to, is real, and that's what's going to help you believe that you can be just like him or her, because at one time they're just a horse, and you may be the only one that sees their horn. So let's wrap this up. Make it fun and you won't forget. Remember to post the sticky notes, to set your phone reminders, to put it on your Facebook. Let everyone know that you're a unicorn. If you're going to believe it yourself, you have to make others start to believe it too. Use the small things to move you forward. We have to start with small successes to build big success. So every time you add a rung on your ladder, you move higher and higher. Use those small things, and remember, your horn is getting bigger and bigger, and you are becoming the person that you want to be, even if it's small steps. Start with a small horn. Know that no matter how small your successes are, they're still successes. Believe in yourself. And remember, as your horn grows, don't let it weigh you down. Don't forget that you started somewhere too. Be real to other people, and they will believe in you more. Also remember that our company is a unicorn. Cincy Family has become something in a few short years that other companies take 20 years to become. So if we work with a company that is so amazing that it is a unicorn, how can we not be that great? Choose to be as great as the company you're a part of. And I challenge you to share. Share all this unicorn jibber-jabber to everyone else in your team and the other people. Ask them, are you a unicorn? They're not going to know what you're talking about, but that's a reason to share with them, a reason to say you are, because you believe in yourself and because I know you're great at these things. So share this with someone who wasn't on the training this morning, or share it with your team or a Cincy brother or sister. My Facebook name is on there, also my email, if you guys have any questions. I am going to wrap this up, and I look forward to seeing your Facebook statuses today, because I know that you are all unicorns. I just want to real quick see